Hi, I'm Andrew Fleming. I'm a reporter of the Vancouver Courier, and I'm sitting here today with the esteemed entertainment editor, Michael Kissinger, and his fine-looking Vancouver Courier hat. Check it out. Very nice. This week, one of the stories we have a columnist named Aaron Chapman, who does quite a few sort of historical interest columns. And this time he's got a story about a movie that was shot about just over 30 years ago. If you don't recall the movie Caligula when it came out, it was the first big-budget adult movie. And when it came to Vancouver back in 1981, it caused a bit of a fuss. And there's a story about a photographer who happened to come across a protest. What can you tell me about it?
Well, Aaron writes our Backstage Past column where he looks at interesting and often quirky bits of arts and entertainment history in Vancouver. And he came across this homemade film by a man named Hans Sipma. And in 1981, there was a protest outside of the Town Cinema, which used to be on Granville Street, where Joe's apartment now is. And they were screening Caligula, which was a little racy. It was rated X by the censors. There was some fornication in the film and other titillating scenes, and a group, evangelical group, decided that they were going to protest the film outside and get into some heated discussions with passersby. And Hans Sipma was able to film a lot of this, and it's a really interesting time capsule of Granville Street in the early 80s.
I think one of the interesting things about the film, which we'll show in just a second, is, it comes from an age when cameras are fairly common, but not everybody really expected sound. So you've got this guy shows up with a camera, he starts filming. I don't think people kind of realized that the sound was on or didn't really pay much attention. You get a real kind of honest snapshot. Nobody's really playing for the camera. Nobody really seems to be aware he's there. And he captures some pretty interesting moments. There's one scene where an older gentleman slaps one of the preachers in the face, and you could tell the preacher, yeah, he's a little ominous about it.
It's pardon the pun, it is the climax of the movie, I'd say. This fellow who has pretty well the most incredible comb-over hair I've seen in a long time, he's preaching to a person that does not want to be preached to, and this fellow in response gives him a bit of a slap in the face, and it's a very interesting and entertaining exchange.
The protest itself was led by a woman named Bernice Gerard, and she's quite infamous or famous, depending which side of the things you were on. She's a former city councillor back in the 80s. She used to lead protests against the nudity at Wreck Beach. She was very much sort of a stereotypical church lady type. I will cut to the movie in just a sec. I would love to show you perhaps teasers from the movie Caligula itself, but I suspect that might violate not only copyright, but probably WOW TV's own internal censors. So instead, enjoy this piece by, what's his name, Hans Sipma, called Protest, and it's available on YouTube. Check it out.
We're protesting Caligula because it is the first hardcore porn film to run in a commercial theater in Vancouver. It's our chance to ask the government why they don't keep the law. We are addressing the Attorney General in particular. We are also getting to our political representatives at the provincial level, as well as our Crown Council and those that have the involvement with the law. We're claiming that hardcore pornography dumped on us by Bob Guccione, the fellow with the Penthouse magazine and his millions, is something Vancouver doesn't need. We have community standards. Community standards are mentioned in the law, and we're asking that we maintain community standards.
All you got to do is read what it says. Read what it says on the window. They don't lie about it. Yeah. It teaches violence, rape, perversion, bestiality, and torture. You see? You're arguing around and around in circles like a dog chasing his tail, my friend.
Right? Okay.
You're not getting anywhere.
You got to try it right again. To put it another way.
It doesn't make sense what you're talking about,
Someone
my friend.
tell you jump off a building.
If you haven't seen the movie, you don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, Sunday night, and I thought it was all right.
Well, of course you would think it's
all right. So go see it and then come out here and tell me about it.
You know, this doesn't make any sense because people, you don't have to go and see it.
Nobody's sitting there with a gun saying you can't go and see it. The results of this kind of stuff going into our kids. You know, the drug culture, the sex culture, all this stuff. People imagining vain things.
Why should you be telling me are having some type of law enforcement, I can't go do this type of thing. If I want to,
It's a
that
free
is my
society. If you want to go and see it, you can go and see it. If you don't want to see it, you just don't walk by it. You don't, you know,
Well,
it's your
it's
money. You
funny
can spend it and do what you
society
want. Is reversing its laws today against people that have a standard, and yet it's reversing the laws to let people go do this kind of thing. And you know, why do the people imagine a vain thing?
Yeah, exactly. Canada is a free country. And there's been more people killed over religion than there ever has over a movie. Read something, you can read it.
Religion?
You can't have
Say if he created the world.
Because I want to
Because you you don't know what you're talking about. Oh, you see, there's the devil come out in you.
me like that.
My, you don't know what. Oh, you just finished saying.
Yeah, you mock me
You
like
just
that.
finished saying that if God created the world.
Yes, if God created
But
the world.
he did create
Yeah,
the world.
no, you're a dogmatist.
No, he
You're a
did create.
dogmatist.
No, but you
You're
said
a
that you believed in
dogmatist.
Jesus, right?
I said if.
No, you said you believed in Jesus, right?
Go ahead.
You said you believed in Jesus,
ahead.
and then you said, if he created the world, well, he did create the world. There's no ifs or buts about it, brother.
My dear friend, there's a lot of
No
people
ifs
that
or
don't
buts.
believe that Jesus.
And I'm not mad at you because you hit me in the face.
Well, I smack you.
Imagine what would happen if I hit you back. You know, I'd kill you, but I wouldn't because I love you, brother. No.
Put your hands on me
No,
for Christ's
I love
sake.
you, brother.
I'll smack you again.
No, I love you, brother. You see, there,
Come on now, we're not here to argue.
no, in Jesus there's no hate. In Jesus there's no hate.
Not here to argue.
See that? You believe God was in the world.
Oh, you better believe it.
Everybody.
Those that don't want to be,
Everybody.
they can be.
All right.